I was way later than I thought I was getting that ready. Good morning. And that's the first bowl pack of the day. That's how the cookie crumbles, right? What is going on this morning? Say hello as you jump on here. It is Tammy Nelson, the hometown hippie, coming to you live for Sunday sermon. It's been a crazy long weekend. Good morning, Dennis Casey. What's going on, sir? Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. It's been a long day and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. We have gotten up this morning. I've made some sausage gravy and biscuits. I got some laundry going. I got the dishes going. I fed the dog. Red has tried to help us move some stuff around. We've got this giant new addition to the house. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Melanie. We went yesterday to Lynchburg, if you watched my live from yesterday. So it has been a whirlwind of a day. It's another day. It's definitely another day. I am tired today. I am realizing that, good morning, good morning, good morning. I did tag some of you and post earlier. I have been up and running this morning, and it's interesting because this morning I got up and I felt very frantic. Anybody else ever woke up like in a panic, like you just have to get things done? And I took a moment and sat down in my chair. I didn't sleep a lot last night, and I was like kind of tossing and turning and all the things. We traveled yesterday. That's always hard on my body. You know, we lifted and toted and did things. And so this morning I woke up in a panic, and I did not know why. I was like, why am I waking up in a panic? Why am I freaking out this morning for literally no good reason? Like, why am I waking up in such a tizzy, for the lack of a better word? That's such a Tammy word. Why are you in a tizzy? And I just realized that I'm wearing my hometown hippie shirt. And I took it off. I had the mannequins, and I had mine showing the front of the shirt, and I have Red shirt over here showing the back of the shirt. And now I just have this like mannequin, like the JJ. Let me move that because I don't like it. Let me move the mannequin out of the way because I do not like her little nakedness showing to everybody. I'm gonna set her over here. Let her cover herself up, right? Let her cover herself up, girl. Put some clothes on, right? Put some clothes on, girl. But I really sat down and I thought about it, right? And I thought about how many of us, right? How many of us um, struggle with anxiety, and how many of us don't even realize when it is kicking our rear ends. And I know what's causing it for me today. Like, I took a moment and I addressed it, and it's a point of reference to say this, right? It's a point of reference to say this. Um, Even those of us, right, who are a little further down the path on our little journey of enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it, we still struggle, and we still have all the same things, right? It's like, just because Tammy takes deep breaths and meditates and practices what she preaches occasionally, right? Like, one day I practiced what I preach. I did all the things I was supposed to do yesterday. I took my shower, right? I honored myself. I put all of, just like I did on Friday. So it's 2 days in a row. It's probably why I'm feeling pretty good. But even on the third day, I still woke up a little anxious. I still woke up a little overwhelmed, and I exactly realized it, right? So even if you are someone who is in the midst of maybe a struggle, if you're someone who's in the midst of a battle and you're like, look at her having it all together, I'm gonna let you know it is not all together. I am just able to recognize when I am self-sabotaging way earlier, right? Because here's the thing, we talk about this on a regular basis about how most of what happens, or everything that happens in our life, is legitimately our choice. And recognizing when I am starting to like slide into an old stinking thinking or an old pattern of behavior that's not serving me, because I spent 47 years creating those patterns, and 45 years and 2 years trying to break them. So just like when you're on a weight loss journey, I didn't gain the 100 pounds overnight. I'm not going to lose it overnight. I didn't gain all of these preconceived conditioning type belief systems or behaviors overnight. And I'm certainly not going to go and do one meditation or one yoga or listen to one get one reading and all of a sudden, or eat one edible and all of a sudden I'm like Buddha, right? I'm not still like, oh, like it's not like that, right? So just like it takes all of these lifetimes, all of these years, all of these things to cause these behaviors, to condition these things, it's going to take time and practice and effort to unlearn, to untrain, and to get better at what you do. And it's always, every day is just for today, right? Just good morning, just for today. So let's talk about some fun stuff. Like, let's talk about what today's about. And I really got up this morning and I was in a frantic panic, and I sat down and I took a deep breath and I realized what it was, right? I went out, any time, and then give me some thumbs up, some hearts, some O faces, that if maybe dropping $1,000 on anything, even if you've got 10,000 in the bank, if you were brought up that $1,000 is a lot of money. Like, I used to make, my paycheck, when I worked for corporate America, was like $3,000 before taxes, right? Like before things came out of it. And I would make a couple of $1,000s on my paycheck. And it wasn't a lot of money when I got it as a paycheck. But when I had to write a check out, when I had to swipe my card, when I had to throw some money out, right? They can come back at any moment. It's recovery time. Yeah. But let me ask, does $1,000 sound like a lot to people, right? To me, and even in today's age, it's like, maybe it's also perception, because I was a Gen Xer, right? I'm born in 74. So I remember when you could buy a whole car for $1,000, like a nice car. Like, if you saved $1,000 when I was growing up, if you are somebody who at 16, 17 years old had saved $1,000, you could go out and buy a Honda Accord that was decent, like 100,000-mile Honda Accord used. Maybe not that, but you know what I'm saying? You could get a Civic, you can get a Volkswagen, you can get something, and it would be a decent car. Like, I drove $1,000 car for 1,000 years. So I'm just saying, there was a time and place where $1,000, I remember it had a lot of buying power. And I understand the buying power today because of inflation and all the things, it's not there. But I'm still someone who I think that's a lot of money. And so I am dealing with ancestral and conditioning and trauma to that. I just spent $1,000 yesterday. I invested that in my business, which is, to me, it's an important thing. It's a tax write-off, I guess. I'll figure out how to do that. It's an investment. It's going to make way more than it ever cost me, right? But I woke up this morning in a panic and went directly to work because I felt unworthy of being able to do that. I felt like, okay, I'm broke now, and I have all the bills are paid. I got money in the bank. I worked to be able to do this, and I freaked out this morning. And here's the thing, though. In the past, I would not have recognized it. I would just be like, I've got things to do. Just have things to do. Just stuff that has to be done. Where today, I was like, I woke up and I immediately, feet hit the floor, I went to work. Feet hit the floor. Like, I got up, went to pee, went from peeing, I made my coffee. While I was making my coffee, I was unloading and loading the dishwasher. Before my coffee was brewed, I had finished the dishes, started a load of laundry, fed and watered the dog. Before I ate breakfast, I had stripped the bed. Before I did this, it's a whole lot of other things. I've updated the entire order form. I've checked the request forms. I've made a mental list of what needs to be started tomorrow, and I'm going to make butter tonight because today I'm making a turkey because I had to defrost my freezer, so I had to lay a turkey out because there's no room to put it somewhere. So you know how that goes. But I recognized what it was. It was that trauma response, that was that trigger for me, because money is definitely a trigger for me. Money is a huge trigger for me. I am not a spendthrift. Like, I am not someone who just goes out and willy-nilly, and I don't know why, all of a sudden willy-nilly has become a big word in my house. Like, if I put something in the cabinet, my husband's like, what is all this willy-nilliness in here? This is not how this goes. And I was like, what is up with you, willy-nilly? And now, like, everything is like willy-nilly. And empty skimpy and something else he said. He's like, this is empty skimpy. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? And he was like, I say it all the time. I'm like, 17 years of marriage and 20 years together. And that is the first time I've ever heard you as a grown human being say empty skimpy, but that's for another day. But I realized this morning immediately. And here's what I also realized, and he will never admit it, right? It's a Sunday sermon. He's gone. So this morning, he also, like, after we had breakfast and right before I came on here, he was like looking at the bank. Right. Yesterday we were in the moment, like, this is awesome. We can go up here. We can invest in this stuff. We can do this. We were on that little high last night. That's really nice. It's really like we had those marital discussions whenever you're like, it's really nice to be able to go and do these things and have a plan, and things are coming together. And we felt very confident in like our, next 6 months. We have some ideas. And this morning I get up and go to work. Right. And he gets up and he's not like I'm the person that like looks at the bank and does all the things. And he's in there going, what did we spend? What did we do? What did we do? And I'm like, okay, I know what it is. We're both dealing with that trigger of money, right? We're both dealing with that insecurity, that fear of without. And that's just a trigger for us, right? That is just a trigger for us. And so I took a deep breath and I said, hey, I was like, the money is there. Everything is paid. All is well. He's like, yeah, no. I'm not saying that for your purpose. I'm saying that out loud for my purpose because I'm freaking out about spending that money yesterday as well. He's like, I'm not mad about it. I'm like, I'm not saying you're mad about it. I'm not saying that you're upset about it. I'm saying that both of us have an insecurity around money. And apparently this morning we woke up feeling it. And we don't realize that's what it is. I said, but that's a good thing that we've identified it. We can stop, take a deep breath. And he's gone to the store to go buy some new stuff. Like, hey, he's like, I got to go get bird feed and some light straps. And I'm going to get a table to put in. I was like, hey, go do that. It's all good. Like, don't stress over it. We got it. And so I took a deep breath and I said, you know what? Good morning. This morning when I got up and was in a frantic, one of the things I was frantic about, of course, because your brain goes crazy, is I've gone live this week and I don't have a message. Like, I don't know what to tell. I don't know what to say. Like, what am I going to talk about this morning? I go over just some generic stuff, right? And right before I came on here, it's funny because I was like, I got to go back to the bathroom. The bathroom is something about, like, it's weird. Like, sacred space is sacred space. Like, tell me in the comments, like, where in your, like, what is your sacred space? Like, where do your epiphanies come to you? Where do your good ideas come in? Where do you put your thinking cap on that? Right? Where do you carve out your space for creativity or thinking or contemplating or whatever? Do you have a space? Like, do you have a space? And if so, where is it? Is it in the car? Is it in your bathroom? Is it in the bed? Is it in your favorite chair? Where is your sacred thinking space? Because it's important to have one, right? And for me, I don't know why, but the bathroom has always seemed to be that space for me. I don't know, like, growing up, I shared a room with my sister, and we had a small house for a family of 5. And to get privacy, kind of the bathroom was your private place, right? Now, my car, I love that as well. I used to use my car because I drove an hour and 10 minutes each way to work. And I love the car. But what I found is that outside on the deck when I'm having a cigarette. Yeah, Dennis, I miss. Let me tell y'all. I quit smoking a year ago. And for me, I never felt like I'm going to talk about the car thing in a second, but I never felt like I craved the cigarette nicotine. Like, I wasn't like walking down the street and like wanted a cigarette because I wanted to like have the nicotine to chill me out. Smoking cigarettes to me was very ritualistic in the actual like packing of the pack, how I opened it, the cigarette that I pulled out, the holding, the lighting, the ashing, like the whole process of actually the physical aspect of smoking a cigarette is what I missed. I missed the holding it, the all the things that go along with the touching of the cigarette. I don't even really miss the drag and the taste of it. I think the taste is awful. But I mean, I still would hold it, would light it, would ash it. That would be my joy. But there's the thing I miss. If I'm going to miss a cigarette, it is the first cool fall morning when I can sit out on my deck with like clothes on, like to be kind of bundled up. Buying the new house has triggered the money thing in my other half. Yes. So that's what happened with Red and I when we built our house in Richmond. When we built our house in Richmond, that was probably the 5 years we owned that was probably the hardest years of our marriage. And now that we're looking back on it, and we kind of know what it is. We've been delving into that work a little bit, and I'm going to tell you, address it now, sit down and be clear about it, because what we did was avoid it, right? We fought, and then when we weren't fighting, I didn't want to bring something up that would cause another fight, so I ignored it till it came to a fight again. And we would go through those, like, we didn't have, like, because marriage is going to be hills and valleys and ups and downs and goods and bads, right? Or relationships or whatever they may be. But you can't go here to here to here to here. That's when you kind of get that, like, anger fatigue. You get that trigger fatigue. And it was because we didn't have a good way to communicate. Now I'm like, the other day something was bothering me, and I was like, I stopped myself because I was getting angry, and I was like, I don't want to fight tonight. We've had a good day. This one thing is really like something that I want to say something about. But it's like, this is an old pattern. If I just bottle it down, I'm going to be nasty, nice, and passive aggressive the rest of the evening because I'm holding this in. Because my throat chakra is burning. I need to say this. And I'm not angry about it. And I'm a little triggered, and I'm going to say it in a way that I can probably control my emotions around it right now and say it in a way that's not going to be a big deal. But in an hour from now, as it continues to eat at me, as it continues to nag at me, as it continues to build up and make me overthink and get my head going, I'm not going to. I'm either going to avoid it and tamp it down and do things to provoke a fight because I have a little bit of a thing, or I can say something right now in this moment exactly how little I'm affected by it. Just, I want to say this because I obviously have an emotion attached to it. I'm not mad. I know I'm not mad, but I want to say this out loud so that you know that this is where it's coming from and how I feel. And I said what I said. I said what I said. He's like, I hear you. And we moved on. And it was a whole different weekend than it could have been from starting off Friday evening with a whole like me just being like, nasty nice or passive aggressive or mad about something and not saying it. And him, because he picks up, we've been together for 20 years. If I have those things, like I'm triggered by something, and I know that was probably a lot of him looking through the bank this morning, because he was probably thinking, because he knows me better than I know myself sometimes. And it drives me crazy. It drives me crazy because I've never had anybody that can know me like that ever. My mom and Red, those are the people that know exactly what's going on and before I know it sometimes. And my mom always knew. She'd call me like, hey, what's your problem? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, I can feel it. What's going on with you? And because my mom was 100% a light worker, intuitive, just didn't do the things she should have done to be a better, to get her stuff together. But it wasn't her lifetime to do that, right? It wasn't her lifetime to do that. Maybe her lifetime was to help me and my sister. I don't know. But all in divine time. Anyway, another point. So if you are having trigger, like I think that when he saw me going into overdrive motion, the reason he went to look at the bank was to see if we were like, maybe we overspent yesterday. If she's freaking out like this, we've obviously overspent because I'm kind of the money person in the house. I deal with all the things like that. And that's because I'm a complete control freak. It's just easier to let me deal with it, right? So a lot of y'all are talking about in your car. And I used to use my car as that like moment to like think things through. But what I found is that I needed to also just kind of like woosah in the car and clear my brain. So whenever because I was heading to work to deal with people, and then I was heading home to deal with my family. So I took my car rides. And those are just the, like, think about nothing, empty my brain, sing out loud times. Do I get messages in the car? All the time. But normally those messages in the car are sometimes for me. But I have like the messages that come for like my messages and all the things. Most of those come to me in the bathroom, which is interesting. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's like, maybe it's like, I think of the dumbest stuff. I'm like, is this a shitty thought or should I? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Because y'all know I'm ridiculous. But I have what came to me on my phone. So give me just 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up because you know how I take notes, and sometimes the notes are here because of where I'm at. Sometimes the notes are here because of where I'm at, and I post this in my stories too. My guides talk to me in the car. Yeah, see, like I said, I really started getting to the point, and it's coming back a little bit in the car, but I'm not in the car a lot. Like, the furthest I drive is basically from here to that I drive is from here to Food Lion or Walmart and then back because I am home working. And when I'm not working at home, I want to be on the deck, not smoking a cigarette, maybe smoking a bowl, smoking a few, but I want to be home and doing all the things or whatever, right? And I have found that when I'm outside of the house, part of my like new thing is that I really have to put up an energy shield because I went to Food Line last night, y'all. I don't have a lie. Like, I saw 3,000 people that I knew. I talked to everybody. People, hey, I'm like, hey. And I was like, whew. And then I had gone yesterday to Lynchburg and met new people. And then we had gone out to a restaurant. So I also thought today, like, all the anxiety was like, hey, I've picked up a bunch of like crazy, frantic energy all over the world yesterday. Let me. Then I'm like, nope, that's not crazy world energy. Because, we should always do that. When you feel like you have weird energy, stop, say time out. Is this mine? Or is this somebody else's? Now, today, it was not somebody else's. It was mine, and I figured it out. But today's message is interesting, right? Today's message is interesting that we started this way because this is how we do. But this is what today's message is about, right? And I want to see if anybody can hear this. Accept both compliments and criticism. Accept both. It takes both sun and rain for a flower to grow. And it's interesting because it was a planting metaphor, and it was some things that I have been encountering this week, and it's not even criticism, right? And Heather, I'm going to call you out because you're on here. I think Heather, you still here? Because Heather says she didn't say yes to that, but she's like on here earlier, right? Heather sent me a message this week. Her pineapple upside down cakes are some of the first to go out, and I used a bakery box, so she had several of them. And I wrapped them, or I put them in the thing and stuck them into the mail. And she sent me a message, hey, not trying to fuss. Everything was still delicious, but they didn't travel well, and I wanted to let you know. And I don't know if maybe I projected, right? But I could feel like her hesitation in telling me, because she's like, and she kind of added to that, I'm not complaining. I just want you to know because they don't, thought you want the feedback. And I was like, yes, I want to know because I can't be better if y'all don't tell me. So when something is not exactly right or something is not packaged right, because I work very hard to then fix it, because if I don't know, I can't do anything to make it better for the next person. So I am someone, because I did go to corporate America, because I did go through all these leadership classes and stuff, I have taken courses upon courses upon courses on emotional intelligence and my EQ, right? My intelligence quotient, or my IQ, like intelligent quotient and emotional intelligence, understanding that sometimes you have to be emotionally intelligent, understand your triggers, and be able to take the criticism. Because here's the thing, I can't get better if I don't know what I need to get better at. And packaging is always, if y'all can see, my packaging is consistently changing and getting better and kind of evolving. And if I don't know, I can't fix it, right? My flower can't grow if I don't have that criticism to let me know. And it's not criticism, right? I don't think of it as criticism. Now, if you are just trying to, and so if you have something to say, I believe that I'm very authentic, right? And I will tell people that if I'm not excited about something, if I don't appreciate something, and it's standing in my power, right? And a lot of us feel that criticism is meant to hurt, not to help. And we take criticism and we get defensive about it, right? We get our feelings hurt or we get upset when someone gives us criticism. We will bask and we will bask in it. Now, here's what I want to also ask you the question, right? Who is this? Who is that? Just wondering who that is, because I want to see if you can allow Facebook to use it. And this is my guys talk to me in the car. That's a good one. And I'm not sure who that is, right? So if you can tell me who Facebook user is, just because I want to like say hi to you, right? So tell me if this resonates. If someone tells you that your shirt is ugly, you believe it, you eat it with a spoon, and that's the story you have to tell. You believe the criticism, right? Hey, Lisa, thanks. I just wasn't sure. We believe the criticism. But if someone compliments you, you will not accept that the same way that you accept the criticism internally, right? If someone tells you that shirt, that shirt is ugly, you're like, it is. Oh, I will never wear it again. It is the ugliest thing ever. I hate it. I don't know why I wore it today. You're right. Someone says, wow, that dress you have on is beautiful. I love that. You're like, this whole thing? No way, you don't love that, right? But it has pockets. Or you tell them how cheap it was from wherever you bought it from. Right? We don't go home and revel. We don't go home and like dwell on, she loved my dress today. I love this dress. We don't go home and overplay that compliment in our head. We don't go home and have ourselves believe we're the best dressed thing in 5 counties because we got a compliment on our shirt or our dress or our slacks today. We don't ride that high. We don't ride that into like the evening or into the next day or into the next month or into the next lifetime. But someone says, hey, that dress is just not your dress. Oh, we hold on to that. we will second guess our outfit choices for 2 years, for 3 seasons. We will say something 6 months later to somebody about, well, I don't have good taste in clothes. People don't like what I wear because one person didn't like your dress. Right? Because one person didn't like your dress. What I'm saying to you is this. The good and the bad, it's so damn true. It is. It is so damn true. I love it. So damn true. It is so damn true. That's why, and here's why I know that that's true, because people who are kind, right? People who are legitimately kind and who live with that, Kalima and everybody, all of us, right? People who are truly kind will always try to qualify a criticism. I do not mean this in any kind of bad way, but in my opinion, I would like to tell you this, right? Now, I believe that how you say something is important as what you have to say. So I appreciate the fact that you're not, hey, bitch, that packaging sucked and my shit was all messed up. Like, I get, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. There's also a way to deliver a message. But what I want you all to know, right, is that if you're going to take those compliments and just like, whatever they do, let me help you, I know. But you take those criticisms to heart, right? This message was probably, a little, I want you to understand, right? You need to hold on. If you're holding on to those criticisms, hold on to those compliments. Hold on to those compliments and believe those with the veracity that you believe the criticisms with, right? Believe in yourself. If people didn't give me feedback, and I ask y'all, I sent out those treats and it had a little card and it said, for $5 off your next order, send me your feedback. I didn't say send me your compliments. I said, send me your feedback for $5 off because I wanted to add those into the lineup, right? And then I'm like, people are like, well, I was like, don't give it to me verbally. I ask you for written feedback that you have to follow directions, right? It's not criticism. Like you don't get $5 off for telling me over the phone. I need it in writing in an email. There's a reason why, right? There's a reason why, and because you're exchange of energy. You're taking time to do an email. I'm going to reward you with $5 off your order. If you don't do the email, I'm not going to take $5 off your next order. I'm just not going to do it. It's just, that's how that works. That's the way it works, right? But in my mind, I was like, nobody sent the email. One person sent the email. I said, nobody sent the email. So they must not have anything positive to say. So they must not be good. That's why they're not on the lineup. That's why they're not on the menu, because no one gave me feedback, which to me said they didn't like them enough to even write a review on them, whether good or bad. And if they're not good enough to say, keep these on the menu, here's what I love about them, then they were not good enough to be on my menu. Because I did my own criticism with those, right? I needed the feedback because I've been doing this for 3 years. When it first started out, I was brand new at this, right? And I was like selling them for a just different price to like specific people that I knew, or giving them away and saying, taste this, let me know, help me figure this out. They're like, okay, beta testers, alpha testers. Packaging used to be Ziploc bags. Packaging went to dollar store bags with twist ties. It's been a process, but without that feedback, without knowing that doesn't ship well, that doesn't work well. That's why cupcakes are not really on the menu, because they don't ship well. I have not figured out a way to make a cupcake ship. You just can't with the icing. It flips upside down. The mail doesn't care. And Melanie says, it's human nature to always feel like we are feeling judged, even if it's legitimately not a bad thing. Here's the thing, right? Taking criticism makes people feel like they aren't good enough sometimes. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Again, it's not about what anybody else has to say. It's about how you perceive it. Put the icing on the side. That does not work because it doesn't hold up well. It just doesn't. And here's the thing. I am working on some cut and bake cookies, so you can have like cookie dough and be able to bake it fresh to your order at your house. I am working on that next phase when we get bigger, but icing on the side, I don't know, because part of the cupcake is how pretty it looks iced. I don't know. It's just, that's an idea. But that's why I'm trying to do like whoopie pies, because it's kind of like a cupcake as a sandwich, that kind of stuff. So I'm figuring those things out, right? But what I'm saying is that we are our own worst critics. We are our own worst critics. And we have to start believing the good if we believe the bad. Because here's the thing though, right? Sunshine is beautiful, but some people love the rain, right? Some people love the rain. And this is accept both compliments and criticism, because it takes both sun and rain for a flower to grow. And that's what I'm telling you. The stuff that you give me feedback on makes me better, right? The stuff that you give me feedback on, the stuff that you give me criticism on, is only going to benefit me as a business owner to make it better. Now, how I take that criticism as a business owner is also going to be is a testament to how I am in business. If I am telling you all part of my persona in business, right? Part of who I am and the true me is that I'm the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. When I say, I tell you what something costs, I tell you yes or no if I can do something, and I can't control how you react to that. I had someone last night who messaged me again, same person as last week, messaged me again after hours on a Saturday afternoon wanting a onesie twosie thing. And their response to me when I just ignored them last week was like, fill out the form, ask those questions on the form. And they were trying to play victim. In my opinion, they're trying to play victim. Like, I guess that's too low of a number. And I was like, you know what? I happened to be up tossing and turning last night, and I took a breath and I said, it's not that it's about a too low of a number. It is not at all that it's too low of a number. I will work with anybody. However, it's the time and the way in which you are approaching it. I have stated clearly that I have boundaries with my time, that I am not working on the weekends, and you continue to ask these questions after hours in Messenger. If you would fill out the consultation form and in the notes, ask those questions, it would allow me as a business owner to see that and address that. But on a Friday night, I don't think on Monday morning, I'm like, this is annoying, I'm going to leave it alone. And then on Monday morning, I have forgotten about it. So I didn't address it because I just forgot about it, right? So I said last night, I was like, it's not about that. And if that person gets offended or got offended by that, then that's on them. That's the choice they made to message at this time. I was very clear in the expectation. I don't have any hard feelings. If this person puts their request on the request consultation form, I will work with them for a onesie twosie given their circumstance. Honestly, if they would have put it on the form, you know me, y'all know me. You know me. I was already in my brain thinking, because I talked to this person previously and I know their circumstance, and I'm like, you know what? They might get this month's love mail. But after that, it just changed my whole persona, because after that, it made me feel kind of funky, right? I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. But I can only control how I react. You can only control how you react, but you have to be able to speak your truth. Now, a smart person knows what to say. A wise person knows when to say it, right? And if it should be said. So for me, I don't get my feelings hurt like that. If I choose to like get them, and here's the thing, it's don't take it personal, right? Don't take anything personal. I take nothing personal. Okay, nothing. And so what I say is this, like, I can't, if I take nothing personal, I don't take the compliments or the criticisms to heart like that. Like, I don't take them personal. It's not about me, right? It's about the experience you're having. So if you're complimenting, then I'm excited to be in your soul circle because I am meant for you, right? And if you don't like anything I do, if my treats are not delicious, if my treats are not to your liking, not everything is for everybody. And that's okay. There are plenty of people out there who I am meant for. I do not take it personally. However, those experiences help me as a flower grow. They help you as a flower grow. So if you have people in your life, right, who are not supporting you, who are always giving you criticism, who like nothing, then that's okay. Guess what? That person's not meant for you. That's how they make you grow, because they get pulled out of your garden. You weed that person out of your garden, right? No hard feelings, nothing personal. It's just that we weren't meant for each other. If the only thing that you can attribute, and that person does help you grow because they help make room for what belongs in your garden. Does that make sense? Right? So when I say take nothing personal, it's about them and how it makes you grow. You're like, well, how does somebody giving me shitty, it's not about that, right? And here's the thing. If I would have taken it personally and I would have told Heather when she's like, well, it didn't really ship well, and I would have been like, well, too bad. Don't order them next time. I'm not shipping. That's not how that went down. I'm like, thank you for letting me know that so that I can make sure that no one else has that same experience. I grew from that experience. Heather's meant to be in my garden, right? Now, if every time I shipped an order and I triple checked it, because I've owned restaurants and there's people out there who will do this. Oh, I didn't ship right. Or that, can I get a picture? No, I already ate it. Well, then how do I know, right? She sent picture. Not that you have to send me proof. I believe, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't asking for anything, but I'm going to make it right, right? And so you can tell when somebody is watering your garden and they need to like help you grow and giving you constructive criticism, right? Or someone who is there because you need to learn how to weed your garden. Right now, I'm going to tell you this as well. There are also people that are in your life who are not really there. They are watering your garden. They are sunshine in your garden. But as soon as you leave the garden, they are the clouds, because they don't, they compliment you to your face, and then they talk shit about you behind your back. Those are also the people that you need to weed. So sometimes even the ones you think that are putting sunshine are only putting sunshine when you're looking at the sun. When you're looking at the other way, they're putting shade. So it's just a way to help you understand, right? The flowers that belong in your garden, the ones that don't. But you have to be able to take both the good and the bad to be able to be the best version of you. And even the criticisms teach us lessons, right? Can anybody give me an example? Now, I love what Kalima just said. She's like, I put myself down once and my friend said, stop. I think it was me that told you that. I know I told you that before in comments. You were like, I don't do that. I'm like, stop talking about my friend that way, right? And now I say to myself when I find myself getting into a negative self-talk spiral, yes, right? Yes. It's, thank you. But, you should speak kindly to yourself. But here's the thing. Like, I am very brutally honest with myself, right? Now, I don't say I'm so stupid. Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. Oh my gosh, I'm the worst packaging person ever. I'm the worst packaging person ever. Now, here's what I'll say to myself. Good job getting orders out early and on time. Good job on making all of those. No, none of them stuck. I'm so excited. Not 6 dozen of pineapple upside down cakes. I thought it was me. And I flipped them upside down and I was like, okay. Because y'all know, has anybody ever made a pineapple upside down cake? Give me some hearts, some thumbs up, some O faces, right? If you've done it before. And you know that moment when you flip that pan upside down, If you're someone who enjoys baking and that's like a thing, like when I pick that pan up to see what's coming out of it, it's like and this is just my way of speaking. So if you're new here, sorry, it's like my butthole puckers. I'm like, come on, everything tightens up, and I'm like, oh yes. It is like for me, probably how like one of those skiers is like skiing and like jump and they do like this. Oh, they get the long jump and they land it. Or when you go up for the spirals, triple axel, or the backflip in gymnastics, or the dismount off of the balance beam, or whatever it may be. I've seen a lot of gymnasts lately, right? Anytime that I flip that pan upside down and I go to every day, there's a moment, right? It's brownies, because you have to flip them out like, don't, come on, brownies. It's a lot of money in these pans. And I like, yes. It's like the best feeling. It's like landing my dismount. And so I said, I did a good job with all of that. Good. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Heather. Right. Thank you for all of those people who are honest enough to tell me, so that the customer that's brand new, who's never gotten anything from me, does not get a shitty package the first time. So the ultimate victory. Yes. Ta-da! So without the feedback, without the criticism, Hometown Hippie couldn't grow. Hometown Hippie couldn't get bigger, couldn't get better, couldn't make sure that every sweet treat that comes to your door is exactly the way that it's supposed to come, right? So the criticism as well as the sunshine is going to help you to be the best version of you. Now, I'm going to grab the crystal cards. Give me just a second, because I was not prepared this morning. Again, with the boobers, we have to cover me and the mannequin have to cover our nips this morning, right? So as you know, every Sunday morning we do our weekly affirmation crystal tarot card. We pull a card. Usually it's going to be something, and it's usually like an affirmation. This was the message you were supposed to get, because the cards sometimes will say exactly like, today's message is blah blah blah, and then the card comes out, it's like, love yourself. And I'm like, there you go, mic drop. Wasn't me. You can listen to somebody else. But before I do that, I do want to talk about a few little housekeeping things. So, number one, we are able to, here it is, starting today, it's on the form right now. So what I have done is this, okay, a couple of things. Please use the consultation request form, because what's on that is going to be what is currently available in inventory or available this week. It is an ever-changing menu. There are some things on the menu that stay on the menu month in and month out, day in and day out. The cookies, the brownies, the lollipops, the gummies, those things are just kind of the constants. And then we add in some extra fun stuff. So please fill that out. Now, if you filled it out and you've already put in the reasons why you've already put in your address, your cell phone number, your email, just put your name and click the things you want and put a note in the little notes section, anything extra like the end. Anything I need to know, it's extra. Like if you're going to ship it, I need to ship this time, because some of y'all ship sometimes and pick up sometimes. So like, let me know there, or let me know on the shipping spot which one you need that time. But you don't have to fill out everything over and over and over again. But this month, the Munchie of the Month box is on the order form, on the consultation form. It's just that simple form. You can click that you want a Munchie of the Month box. This month is going to be a lucky month. I've got some fun treats planned for this month. Those boxes are $22.22. When you add that to your order, whatever else you've ordered on that order will get 10% off, because I give a little discount for picking up the Munchie of the Month box. When I get my treats, I'm like, I wonder what she's going to do next. I love it. So yeah, March, I've got a lot of stuff up my sleeves. And another thing that is dropping this week, so I wanted to let y'all know that's on the order form, is a new option. And it is a mixed box. It's two options for the sampler boxes. So there's a $50 sampler box and there's a $100 sampler box. And if you pick the small or the large, I say the large is great for 2. The small is great for 1. It's going to give you a taste of everything that's available on the treats. So if you want to grab a $50 sampler box, it will give you a little bit of everything, a little bite of all of it. It's well worth the money. And if you want to grab a sampler box, you get a little bite of all of it. Like it's going to have brownies, chocolate chip cookies, sugar cookies, caramels, gummies, lollipops, and some other stuff in there. And the larger one is going to have all the same things, but just more quantity of it. So if you would like to grab sampler boxes, you can also grab those. Little note on the sampler boxes: do not ask for substitutions. Do not ask for mix and matches. They are preset items. I've already done the stuff for those, already planned. So if you know what you want and you want more gummies, then just order gummies. That's how that's going to work. I got to have some boundaries with that. So I just wanted to go through that first and foremost this morning. I have some specialty orders I'm doing this week. So we're doing the Munchie of the Months dropping this week, of course. Those are going to go out probably a little quicker. I've got some inserts coming to go in those, and I'm super excited about the stuff that's going in them. So grab your Munchie of the Month boxes. If we get up to 30 Munchie of the Month boxes, that's my goal this month, is 30. I don't know why, but it's 30. If we can do 30 Munchie of the Month boxes this month, I will draw from those 30 people or more, and then someone will get a free Munchie of the Month box for next month, for April. And April, we are also dropping, just so everybody can put this on their calendar and let your partners or let yourself know, that I am doing elevated Easter baskets. So, and the peanut butter fudge will be back. So just be on the lookout for that. Okay. Now, if you are new here and maybe the sampler boxes sound good to kind of figure out what you want to try, what you want to get, all the things, or maybe you've been around for a while, you only ever tried one thing. Like, that's a good way to kind of try all of it. Every Sunday we do a crystal affirmation spirit card, right? Daily crystal inspirational cards. Now, why do I do this? And it's a good way because I always tell people that to some methods to utilize during the week, right? I always say, like, brownies do not solve your problems, but cannabis edibles do allow you to stop, slow down, to pattern and interrupt any kind of crap going on in your life, and allow you to then see the path out of it, right? It allows you to pattern interrupt the negative, to raise the vibration with gratitude, because cannabis vibrates at a certain level. It allows you to stop, even if it's through laughter, and raise the vibration of yourself through the buzz that you get, the high, the euphoria that you get from the edible, from the cannabis, even if it's just because you needed a good night's sleep to be able to get up and think clearly, right? So tell me in the comments, what is your favorite? I saw this today. What is the thing that you do? What does cannabis help you do to raise your vibration? Is it a laugh? Is it a nap? Is it a meditation? What is it that cannabis does for you? Now, what I want you to do is, we read these cards, there's also there's a daily, like a core questions. And the core questions are things that are automatic writing prompts for your journal this week. So if the message resonates with you and you are looking to raise the vibration, if you are hoping to be a better version or a favorite version of yourself, or you are dealing with some heavy shit this week, right? Here's some things you can do to help yourself kind of bounce back out of it. Just like I cook with intention and love in mind, and now I'm going to grow with intention and love in mind. This is also done with intention and love in mind. Okay. It's about how I can give you a message to help you to go out this week, to utilize the tools that you've purchased, along with some things. Helps me relax, stop stressing, and sleep better. I love it. I'm able to sleep, meditate, and relieve pain. Slow down my body so my mind can catch up to my brain. I love my body and my brain can catch up together. I'm able to sleep, meditate, and relieve pain. Helps me relax, stop stressing, and sleep better. Exactly, right? Relax and sleep. I love it. I love it. It does all of those things for me, plus a little bit more. So one of the things we're going to do today, because you add this to it, it's going to even up that ante. So let's do this. Before we get started, what I always say is we're looking for the next positive steps and the message that this group that's watching or that watches on replay needs to have. This message is meant for the collective, or at least for some of the people who are watching. Some of this might resonate with you. Some of it might not. Take what belongs to you and release what does not, right? We also have I think we have a new moon coming this week. We're doing some fun stuff with that. But let's go ahead and take some breaths in. Now, if you've never done like a deep breathing or slowing of your mind through like meditation or breath work, what we say is we're going to smell the birthday cake. blow out the candle. It's just 3 deep cleansing breaths. I love to make noise like blow them out, right? I encourage you just to blow it out, right? I feel like somebody needs to just like blow it out today. Let's just do that one more time. Just blow that out. I feel like a sigh needs to come out, like a right. Somebody needs to just blow that out. So if you're someone who needs, yes, new moon in Pisces is March. So I knew it was coming. I knew it was a big one. We're going to talk about that this week, I'm sure. That's What's Up Wednesday. Definitely. We'll do a new moon on Wednesday. Make me a clear and perfect channel is what I'm asking my guides to do. And then I want you to just kind of relax into a normal breathing pattern, right? A normal, deep, long, heavy breathing pattern. Just kind of a, it's also Ash Wednesday. Wow. So there's all kinds of big energy. There's all kinds of big energy coming up. And I guess that's because Lent and Mardi Gras and all that, because Mardi Gras is the first, I believe. Oh, I'll tell something. Remind me to tell you about Peace, Love, and Feast Fest too. Okay. All right. Interesting card. All right, interesting. Today's card is very pretty, but it's interesting. It is Phantom Quartz, and it says, embrace change. Oh, that's a good picture of that. Phantom Quartz, embrace change. Now, a lot of the times I feel like we can't accept criticism because we can't accept the idea that we have to do something to change, to get better, to get worse, whatever. I think that sometimes that is our problem with criticism, or our problem with anything, is that we are creatures of habit, right? Phantom Quartz. In a period of flux, find comfort in the uncomfortable. Change is happening all around you, so make the most of it. After all, the only thing that is constant in life is change. Embrace the uncertainty and lean into the inevitable. These are opportunities that allow you to grow, evolve, and move forward. It's how you move through the stations. And y'all know when it hits, and it just hit me. So here we go. Phantom Quartz. It's how you move through the journey instead of resisting change. Allow it to propel you forward so you can level up your life. Okay? You can't make this shit up, right? We talked about it takes both the sun and the rain to help a flower grow. We're talking about your own personal growth today, and this right here says it all. Embrace uncertainty and lean into the inevitable. These are opportunities that allow you to grow, evolve, and move forward, right? And how you move forward, right? How you deal with this change, right? It helps you to level up in life. Learning to take it lightly with ease and grace, right? When someone says, I don't like that shirt, good thing you're not wearing it, but thanks for letting me know that you wouldn't buy it. I appreciate it, no problem. And letting it go as lightly as that, right? But when someone says, I love your dress, say thank you. I love this dress too. It is a beautiful dress and I look great in it, right? I'm just saying, right? Learn to evolve and just go through the stations of your life by leaning into change. Knowing that just because you were I was a grumpy old bitch 2 years ago, you can change, right? You can level up your life. Don't get stuck in that stinking thinking, right? Lean into the fact that just like the world, you are 100% allowed to change. And we get stuck in these patterns, and I can't make this up, and it's just coming in, right? Because our ego tells us we're an imposter. We're not allowed to, because this is who we are, and we're not going to be something fake, because fake, nobody's going to believe that you've changed and you're better. People are going to talk shit about you. Guess what? Let them talk. Do you not think that people don't talk about me? Do you not think that I don't hear that people don't say awful things about my business? I do not feel that I am a drug dealer. Do you know that there are people who call me a drug dealer? You have to be your own friend, right? You have to be your own friend. I wouldn't have wanted to be my own friend. And that's what I said. Would I hang out with me? No. Would I call and check on me? No. Right? But it's not, this is what came into me. It's not what people call you, it's what you answer to. Right? Here's the core questions that you should be journaling this week. This is why I love these cards for Sunday sermon. This is why I always pull a crystal card on Sunday sermon. Because these are the things that if you are someone who, because I talk and work with people, right? And I say to people, I'm like, you need to be journaling. Well, I don't know how to journal. I don't know what to journal about. I don't know how to automatic write this and I'll start talking about my feelings. So the reason that I love this deck is because it gives you those prompts. And I write those in my journal. I don't do it all the time. Practice what I preach. I know that. Right. But when I need to, when I know that I've got to get back to the basics and kind of do the things the way that they need to be done and practice what I preach, I will write these in my journal. And sometimes I don't do it that week, but other times I do recall journaling, which means I go back through my journals to see if anything that's happened before is relative to the situation that I'm in. And when I'm called to do that, normally it is, right? It's okay. It does not bother me like that, but I always laugh about it. I'm like, well, when's the last time the drug dealer wrote you a thank you note and put stickers in your bag? Because I do that. I'm like, well, I'm just the best one out there, I guess. I'm just a special kind of drug dealer. And if you think about it, that's what I am, but whatever. What changes are happening in your life? What changes are happening in your life? That's a great way to automatic prompt to start journaling. Second question, how are you responding to these shifts? And I feel like there's a couple people who really are like, this is touching someplace today. This is like touching someplace today. How would you ideally respond if you were living from your purpose? How would you ideally respond if you were living from your purpose? Because here's the thing, right? A lot of times when those compliments or those criticisms come in, we take them and we make them we skew them from our lens because we hear what they say and then we add on all the things that we've been thinking about ourselves. That's where when you kind of suppress that negative self-talk, all it takes is somebody from the outside like validating something that you thought and then you make it huge. So have to change is okay, good. And Gina says, at least you have happy consumers. That's funny. But here's the thing, right? If you were living from your purpose, right? If you were your own friend, like Heather said, if I was my own friend, I wouldn't let somebody talk to my friend that way. Right? So if somebody's being negative in a way that's not being helpful, just being negative, right? We will eat that up with the same veracity that we eat up criticism when we're not our own best friend. When you let somebody talk to your friend that way, they're not really your friend. And that's what happened to me when I talked about relationships the other day. I said, it's not about how they responded to me with them and me in an interpersonal skill. It was how they responded as my friend in a room full of people that weren't my friends. It's how they stand up for you and they protect you. Because I'm going to tell every single person watching me right now that I will defend you to your face as hard as I will behind your back. If I am your friend, I am your friend. Good, bad, and ugly. Well, I tell you if you're, and here's the thing. Well, I will not say anything behind your back that I won't say to your face. And I won't say it behind your back before I say it to your face. So it's not like you're surprised when you hear it. Because if you're messy, I have friends that are messy. I have friends that are messy, essy, empty, skimpy, messy, willy-nilly messy. I have friends that are just a whole ass mess, right? They know that I think that they're a mess, right? And they know that I'm here when you're ready to not be a mess. But right now you're a whole ass hot mess. Don't bring that mess to my house. When you're ready to fix that, don't bring the mess to my house. I don't let mess in my environment. I can love you from the balcony, like Gina said last night, right? Or yesterday. Or I can love you from the balcony, right? Yes. What I thought was my best qualities were actually my worst. Shadow work is hard and it's meant to be. The growth that I have achieved is priceless. Yes, right? But we all have those friends that are messy, but we love them. We can love them from afar and let them get their act together and then bring them into the fold. But what I'm saying to you is this, right? When you're living from your purpose, nothing anyone says really gets on your nerves because you are living from your purpose. You are standing in your truth. You are your own best friend. You don't need that validation. You can use that validation to get better. You can use that criticism to see where you might need to fix some things because you know it's real. You don't skew it. You don't skew it. You don't take the shirt not being something somebody likes to the fact that you can't dress, the fact that you shouldn't even go out in public looking like that. You understand that that shirt, that person was mad at themselves and needed to find something to pick with you about, right? To make themselves feel better, to chink in your armor. If your energy suits on, it doesn't bother you, right? It doesn't bother you. But if you were ideally, how would you respond to that? And that's how I respond to those things, right? That's how I respond to those things now. I know when I say you're a drug dealer, I'm like, okay, you're right. But the government made me a drug dealer. I was like, here I am living my best life. I'm living in my purpose. I am passionate about what I do. The obstacles, like I talked about, that came from the food truck to the restaurant to all the things that put me in my kitchen, learning about energy work and being upset about how things were just woe is me, and going and saying, hey, I'm struggling with why is the universe not working in my favor, to find out that it's doing exactly what it's supporting you in your divine purpose, not in your ego driven what you want it to be. You have to stand in your own power. That's why when they say your packaging didn't hold up, and I know I've been working on packaging. A year ago, it would have hurt my feelings. I'm not gonna lie. A year ago, I would have been like, okay, I'll do better. I'm sorry. I would have probably sent Heather like $1,000 in free stuff and like lost money and like apologized all over myself. And I would have freaked out. I would have called every single person that got even though I know there's your package different, all the things, I would have been like really second guessing myself. I would have not offered anything other than like easy to ship stuff. Like I recognized that the caramels were melting together. Amanda said, hey, Amanda Giorgetti is great about it. She said, hey, they got crumbly, but they were still good. I'm like, sorry, Amanda, I got you, girlfriend. You know, the suckers didn't make it. They melted together. I know I need to do something different with suckers, put them in different ways. So those are things that help me get better. But a year ago, it would have hurt my feelings. A year ago, I would have knee jerked like, well, I'm just not shipping for a little while because I don't know what's going on. But today, as I evolve and I grow and my flower garden is robust, right? When I stood up for myself at work and quit, it was the most empowering moment ever. I love that, right? I love that. But here's what I'm going to tell you, right? I have also learned there's no knee jerk, right? That I'm trying to find the balance between here and here, between having to lose my shit to get here and then lose my shit to get here. Remember that old ride at like the fairs, like the boat that just rocked and rocked and rocked, right? I'm trying to find the steady, right? I'm trying to find the flow that keeps me level and easy and steady, and the boat and the waves just doing this, right? And being able to have such a solid ship that when the waves do come in, I can ride them a little bit easier, right? The pause. And that's what I always equate that when I'm doing my breath work. When I do the deep inhale and I pause at the top of that, it's to remember to stop and to think. Carly and I know y'all seen Carly in here. We talk about all the time how we are yin and yang, right? She's like, I look too long and you leap too fast. So sometimes she's got to hold me back and say, look a little bit longer before you leap. And sometimes I've got to kick her in the ass and tell her, go ahead and go. You're ready for this, right? Find people in your life who help you find your balance. Find a tribe, right, who waters you, who with the rain when you need it, and who pulls you to the sky with the sunshine when you need it, right? The pause gives you a moment to breathe and gather yourself before reacting, right? But put yourself with the people who will help you take the pause, right? Who will help you to take that breath, who will pick you up if you leap too fast, who will push you off if you don't leap quick enough. But what's important is to find your tribe. It takes a village. And I hope that the Grateful Fed community is that community for you. I hope that you will continue to lift and support one another. I hope that sometimes, and for me, the edible is sometimes that pause, right? That pause for me. Let me stop. Let me really think about this. Take a little time for myself. Now, June 4th, I am officially taking Reiki 1. It is going to be offered through the Creative Healing Collaborative affiliate, which is going to be Dragonfly Alchemy with Carly O'Connor. It's a virtual class. It's going to be very affordable. It's a one-day class, like 8 hours on a Saturday. So if anybody's interested in taking that, so then I'm going to be putting in Reiki, like learned Reiki versus my like jackleg, like Tammy's version of Reiki, right? Reiki, because that's the redneck version that I do right now is Reiki. Ricky Bobby, like Ricky Bobby, Ricky, right? I'm just kidding. Like, but I do like call in my helpers, angels, and I cook with intention and I cast energy. But being able to take the course, and then I'm going to do Reiki 2, and I'm going to do Reiki Master, and I'm going to go ahead and get the Master's certification. And I'm going to be working with healing through food. And I'm going to be also putting that energy into the planting of the seeds. And Red's going to be doing that with planting. And we are super excited for this next journey. But on that note, I've kept y'all long enough. It is 11 o'clock on a Sunday. Go out, make the rest of your day wonderful. I got to go cook a turkey. I got to go do some stuff, get some butter made, plan the week out. If you're ready to jump on the Munchie of the Month box, go ahead and get into the consultation form. Let me go ahead and pull that up for y'all. I know I have it ready. Yes, I am Rafiki. I love that. I want one of those like shaker things. I will post the link. I think I just posted it. It's already in the group, y'all. So the new form is out. Y'all have a great day. As always, stay elevated. And remember to go out and be kind today because it costs nothing to do that. And peace, love, and feast forever. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning for Wake and Bake. Have a great day.